What is up, peeps? Welcome back to the channel. Pokimane speaking out against Twitch is not a video I ever thought we'd be making, but the giant question being is, do you agree with her? Do you not? She had a lot to say on her recent podcast episode around Twitch, and we'll start out with some of the easy stuff, as after a decade with being with Twitch, being one of the big faces on Twitch as well, she has decided that she will no longer be re-signing with Twitch and will be multi-streaming or streaming wherever she feels fit. She had the opportunity to actually re-sign with Twitch, as she even says, with bonuses, with certain things that she wanted, although they would be different amounts because Twitch has really gone away from those big streamer contracts. As we've already talked about on this channel, she did have the option to re-sign, but she doesn't feel like Twitch is in the same place and doesn't have the same excitement about Twitch that she once had, so she chose not to and will not be going after any live streaming offers. A lot of people don't believe that for some reason, but here is her saying it.
Exclusivity deals where they're just paying people to only stream on the platform. I could have potentially, I think, re-signed with them exclusively and had some other bonuses, whether that's better sub rates or better ad rates, or, you know, we will pay you this amount if you do XYZ, but very different numbers and very different details than the typical exclusivity deals. However, frankly, months ago, I'd already personally decided I don't want to re-sign with Twitch, and I don't want to sign exclusively with any streaming platform, okay? It's time for me to be free as a bird. And frankly, if I were to tell you guys why, I wouldn't even know where to start. And I don't know where to start, but we're gonna get through it one thing at a time. For starters, don't you guys think it's just time for me to be free? You know, I don't feel the same way about Twitch and Twitch streaming that I did 8 years ago or 4 years ago, or maybe even 2 years ago. And I just don't see the Twitch scene developing more, or at least developing in the direction that I would like for it to. I think for many, many, many years it did, namely the Fortnite era and the Among Us era. Throughout almost my whole Twitch career, I was so excited to see streaming, and Twitch streaming in particular, become more and more mainstream, and I loved seeing that development year over year. And even though there were some things within the industry that I really didn't like, I kept thinking to myself, it's okay because we're gonna grow out of it. It's okay because things are improving and getting better with time. And they did, and they did, and they did, until COVID happened and the industry really boomed. You see Twitch and streaming nowadays, it's really almost nothing like how it was back then. Or frankly, I feel like it has regressed a lot. And I think that's the biggest reason why I have a hard time wanting to devote all of my time and all of my energy to just streaming. I was like, if right now, today, it was like how it was during the pandemic, I would still probably be streaming full time and be so excited about all of it. And
then she also goes on to say that she just isn't excited the same way about Twitch as she once was, which I will say, I don't know if that's platform dependent because she's been with this platform for 10 years, although she's been enjoying other platforms a lot more, whether it be TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, in the audience bases that they have formed for themselves. Going on to also say that Twitch and the industry, in her opinion, have regressed a little bit since the COVID times, where we saw the absolute peak of gaming. I'll add on to that esports as well, which I do think is a fair point to make. But like the last 3 to 5 years were so golden. I feel like almost every platform, in my opinion, has regressed a little bit. So I do agree with her, but I don't think this is just solely exclusive to Twitch. What do you guys think?
But for the last couple of years, is it just me? Or yeah, do you guys also feel like it has regressed a lot? And especially with the rise of so much manosphere, red pill bullshit, I feel like that stuff has flourished within the male-dominated live streaming sphere of things. And I mean, I can't be surprised, right? It's the online demographic that skews male the most. So of course, manosphere stuff would kind of quote unquote perform better there. And you guys already know who and what I'm talking about. Okay, don't make me get into the details. Figureheads of my industry, the most popular and well-established, typically male creators, some of the stuff I see them say and do breaks my heart. And it's hard for me to exist in an industry and community and watch that shit happen and act like it's no big deal. And to see it be normalized, the kind of bigotry and shit spewing and just so much stuff that I frankly, like, I just don't agree with it. And I know you're gonna say, okay, well, don't just sit there, speak against it. I do that enough as it is. And to be honest with you guys, that demographic, I don't want to take responsibility for them. But it's also, it hurts my brain to see other streamers almost put such bad ideas into their minds.
Because I hear these words and I'm like, Twitch has gotten certainly like to a state. I think X or Twitter is an easy one to throw out there. It's gotten atrocious, and that's coming from someone where like X is the reason why I even can do the things that I do. Like I'm thankful for the YouTube audience. I love YouTube. I think YouTube is one of the strongest standards in the scene right now. But I think you could even argue YouTube is a very, very difficult platform and a very different platform than what it was 3 to 5 years ago. Instagram has a bunch of bots and those issues that Twitter has had. I mean, Twitter has so many issues, I can't even name all of them, but I think a lot of platforms out there have highlighted different types of content and have a lot of dramatic issues that weren't very apparent 3 to 5 years ago, not just Twitch, but Twitch is certainly included in that conversation. And so, I mean, what do you guys think? This is where I love to read the comments. Like, what do you think the biggest change has been in this industry of streaming, esports, gaming? For me, it's like, as of late, been IRL content, and the stuff that just gets virality and viral views is not the same as it once was for me. Like, I feel like 5 years ago, gaming and real creation were the biggest moments, and now it's kind of shifted to short form IRL, really moments that I don't enjoy near as much personally. I haven't really been covering a lot of that stuff, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? And the most important part about this is Pokimane goes in for like a lengthy amount of time, probably 15 minutes, about the hardships of Twitch, what Twitch has been through, and what she doesn't like about Twitch, which is so surprising to hear because there are plenty of Twitch partners who will not speak on these things while they are still with Twitch, and then all of a sudden they make a move to Kick or to YouTube, and you hear them being a lot more open about the system because you want to keep good faith with your business, right? Especially when you are a big face of Twitch, you don't want to bash the platform that feeds you, and I do understand that to a degree. It's just shocking to hear Pokimane say all of these things because she says that when it comes to the partner and the process of bans on Twitch, she's not a fan at all. And the process of Twitch having no infrastructure with all these updates they put out and walk back right away, she's like, how are you backed by Amazon and still having these issues, which over the past year to two, everyone has pointed these out, right? And she goes on to say, like, there's been plenty of negative PR for Twitch, that is obvious, but the issues over on Twitch are glaringly apparent, and they've been quite prone to having issues in the past 2 years.
Let's start with Twitch. As a company is respectfully really messy. Y'all are messy, and it's okay. I'm a little messy too, but Twitch is really, really, really messy. Let's just start with, you guys saw that stuff a few weeks ago where like they made nudity not against terms of service, or maybe artistic nudity wasn't against the terms of service. And I'm not saying that that was a good or bad decision. I don't even know enough of the details to have an opinion. But my point is more so, they allowed something in the terms of service, which kind of then blew up in their faces. And then they retracted that like a week later. And I feel like these kinds of changes, and even the way that they go about expressing their changes to their terms of service, messy, messy, messy. Is there not an infrastructure? Sometimes I wish that they were doing a little bit more for the general infrastructure of Twitch, as well as Twitch's PR. Like the way that Twitch comports itself and is seen publicly. And frankly, I feel like Amazon must have insane pull and networking capabilities, why don't you position Twitch as a cooler company? Why don't you put it in more mainstream eyes instead of in the changes that this company is doing? Because you know what? Maybe they're still figuring it the frick out. I don't know. And yes, this does include Twitch bans and Twitch partnerships, okay? Twitch partners and bans people by a process that has many, many, many errors.
And then she even talks about Gideon and why that he is still banned. She has no idea. She goes to talk about the stalking and harassment issues she's actually tried to have fixed by Twitch, but they haven't done anything, and then ends it by saying that she is a Twitch staff or Twitch employee, I don't know if it's current or former, that she has a bat crap crazy story to expose about. And I'm like, what world are we living in? It's 2024 and Pokimane is set to expose things about Twitch. Like, can we just think about how crazy this is for a second? What a crazy year this is.
Quick side note, there was something absolutely batshit crazy that happened with a Twitch employee that I haven't fully publicized yet. But now that my contract is over, I am considering doing that in another soon podcast episode. But I didn't talk about it at the time, frankly, because I feel like Twitch gets enough negative PR and I didn't want to add to that. And again, I had a close working relationship with them and it just didn't feel like the right time. But now that it happened a while ago, it's a wild story, but it would make for a good story.
So I don't know, man. When I was making this video and sitting down to make it, there are just so many clips and so many talking points. It's hard to focus on one, Pokimane having a lot of negative things to say about Twitch, whilst also giving them love and appreciation for what they've done. That's a pretty big thing. But I think the industry going forward, that is also going to be interesting. We're not shy to the fact that Twitch is struggling, but so too are a lot of companies in the tech industry. With Twitch having 2 layoffs last year and a major layoff already this year, they're going away from big streamer contracts. You have all the policies they've released and taken back, and who knows what their direction is. I don't even know if Twitch knows what their direction is, and Pokimane is no longer as excited about that as she once was. She wants to explore more of the content creation and industry, and I don't think anyone can really blame her. So we'll see what platform she chooses to go live on the most, but it mostly for now will not be on Twitch. And we'll see what they keep on doing to move forward in the future. What do you guys think? Till next time, please take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. We do appreciate you, and we'll catch you back here sometime soon.